Welcome to Smart Career Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Helen Chow. This is episode number 2. In this episode, we'll be exploring how you can create strategic alliances that can benefit your career. Many of you may be scratching your head right now thinking, well, what is she talking about? Strategic alliances is a term for the corporate world. Well, let's break down the term and start with the word strategic. To me, being quote unquote strategic is to figure out steps you should take now that can yield positive long term results. Now, alliances or allies are people who will support you or help you when you need it. Now, when you put the two terms together, it's pretty much building relationships that will benefit your career in the long term. How do you go about doing that? Well, first, let's imagine your relationships in different layers of circles. The first and the core circle, of course, are your close friends and family members. The next outer layer will be your coworkers and people in your community. Next will be other professionals you meet through your job, and the next layer will be people completely unconnected with you. Now let's talk about the core circle, your family and close friends. I would say that circle requires a lot less planning because they're your family and close friends, so they should know who you are and what you're capable of. So there's a lot less convincing you have to do now when it comes to time of needs and you really need either a job or you need advice. You just go to them and ask for advice. The next circle is your coworkers and people in your community. Sometimes people think of building alliances as kissing up. It is not true. I know people who are the least social, yet they're the ones who are very focused and they deliver the highest quality of work. And I kid you not, they are recommended everywhere. And of course, there's always these two extremes, right? One extreme is someone who's extremely obnoxious, someone who caused a lot of trouble and problems. They're very memorable, not for a good reason. And there are people who just put their head down, get stuff done, deliver the highest quality work, and they're very memorable. In like 5, 10 years, people still remember you for being that superstar. So you have to decide which side you want to be on. And of course, in the context of building strategic alliances, you really want to be remembered for very good reasons. So the first thing you really need to do, or anyone needs to do in building strong alliances at work and within your community, is do your job. You're not hired. No one is hired to start a gossip. No one is hired at a company. Well, everyone is hired at a company to solve problems and help build a company. Of course, there are times you will have to listen to your coworkers' vent, and there will be times when you need to share your honest feedback. And if you're really frustrated, you have a really bad day at work, it happens to everyone. But being negative in the long run, being negative and not contributing to the solution is not going to lead you anywhere. So minimize that if you can. Bottom line, when it comes to building alliances at work, be friendly, have fun, but definitely put your head down and get your work done. Second, take time to network with other people in other departments. Take them out for lunch, grab coffee with them, figure out what they do, and see if you may like it. Ask them questions, maybe even help contribute to some side projects if they need certain data set. See if you can deliver that for them. If you deliver quality work within your organization, if you have a strong, solid reputation, and you really want to transition to a different department, the likelihood is they may want that for their department too. So, number one, do a great job. Number two, network with other people. Now, the next circle is other professionals you meet through your job. They can be your clients or people you meet at industry events. Those relationships though can be a little bit tricky. Of course, you can always invite them to dinner, grab coffee with them and really get to know them, have double dates, family events together. But the best way to really get to know someone on a professional level is really by working with them. Also, remember, we're talking about building strategic alliances here. So, what I typically do is to create the opportunity, create an environment where I can work with them. Without joining their company, what I do is to create personal projects and invite them to it. You can also use similar tactics to reach out to people who are in a similar industry or field as you are, but you've never met them, like complete strangers. You can also use the same tactic as well. And this is what I've done. I've organized several networking events in the past, and as an organizer, people typically like to talk to you just out of politeness, even. They want to talk to you. They want to figure out why did you organize this event? What is your motivation behind it? What do you do for a living? They just want to gather as much information from you as possible. And this is a great opportunity for you to be honest with your ideas and with your intentions. And then at the end, at least for me, I realized people just genuinely want to help. They genuinely want to contribute to a good cause, to a good idea. So I put my guard down and let them know exactly why I do what I do. And I've had a lot of people who would offer to help me organize an event together, contribute to maybe getting food, or they get speakers, or find a place where we can host an event together. And through that collaboration and working together, they get to know not just who I am, but the way I do things. When I say I'm going to do certain things, it's going to be done, and I can expect the same thing from them. Um, and a lot of these people that we have worked together on a social function like this, they have become my clients, they've become my long term business partners, and there are times I really need their advice, I need their help, and they do go out of their way to help me. Doing events is just one way to connect with people. There are many, many different ways. And for me too, outside of doing events, I also have a personal blog that are very specific and very industry focused as well. And I find my blog gives me a very good reason to reach out to people on LinkedIn that I have no reason to reach out to. But I would reach out to them, get advice from them, and even see if I can interview them for a very specific topic. I would send them a list of questions I'm interested to know about and for them to comment on, and I will let them know this is for my blog, or I'll let them know this is recorded beforehand. But this is a great opportunity for me to get to know someone, and again to nurture those relationships. Now, unlike some of my listeners, I do not have a family to take care of, and I really really enjoy my work, what I do on the side, and my professional job as well. So I can spend all day working and then all night building my own side projects. Not everyone has that luxury. If you have very limited amount of time and all you can do is to carve out 1 hour a week for your side projects, do that. Take that 1 hour a week to do something. I've organized and attended meetup events where people just get together and work. If that's all you can do, just do it. At least, start and see where it takes you. Um, be a leader in your community, form something, and whether it be a virtual event or a physical event, but just start doing something and see where it leads you. It may pivot at some point, but if you don't start, you don't know where you land. With any new relationship, it's going to take time. It's a time of giving and a time of taking and a time of trying out, figuring out who other people are, and you collect those experience, and you can begin to read people better. You can begin to figure out yourself a lot more too. You may not be able to build some of those solid strategic alliances within a quarter, but if you keep nurturing them, it is going to blossom, and you'll see the benefits later. So that's all I have for this week. I will be recording another podcast in about 2 weeks. I don't have the topic yet. If you have any suggestions, please do let me know. Feel free to email me at helen@interviewrightconsulting.com. Again, it's helen@interviewrightconsulting.com. You can also visit my website as well. Again, it's interviewrightconsulting.com. Until then, have a great rest of the week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye.